Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 51, The Deliverance of Muchukunda, Text 43. Varam Vrinishva Rajarshe Sarvan Kaman Dadami Te Mam Prasanna Jana Kaschin Nabhuya Arhati Shochitum. Now choose some benedictions from me, O King. I will fulfill all your desires. One who has satisfied me need never again lament. Varan Vrinishvara Jarshe Sarvan Kaman Dadamite Mam Prasanno Jana Kaschin Nabhuyor Hati Shochitum Varam Vrinishvara Jarshe Sarvan Kaman Dadamite Mam Prasanno Jana Kaschin Nabhuyor Hati Shochitum Varan Vrinishvara Jarshe Sarvam Kaman Dadamite Mam Prasanno Jana Kaschin Nabhuyor Hati Shochitum
Varan Vrinishvara Jarshe Sarvam Kaman Dadamite Mam Prasanno Jana Kaschin
Kaman
Nabhuyo Ravi Sochitum
Nabhuyor Hati Shochitum Varam Vrinishvara Jarshe Sarvam Kaman Dadamite Mam Prasanno Jana Kaschin Nabhuyor Hati Shochitum. Ladies. Varam Vrinishvara Jarshe Sarvam Kaman Dadamite Mam Prasanno Jana Kaschin Nabhuyor Hati Shochitum Varam Vrinishvara Jarshe Sarvam Kaman Dadamite Mam Prasanno Nabhuyor Hati Shochitum Varan. Anyone knows what is Vara? Vara. Benedictions. Benedictions. Vrinishva. Just choose. Rajarshe. O saintly king. Sarvan. Or all. Kaman. Anyone knows what is kama? What? Desire. So, desirable things. Dadami. I give. Te. To you. Mam. Prasanna. Having satisfied. Jana. Person. Kashchit. Any. Nabhuya. Never again. Arhati. Needs. Shochitum. What is Shochitum or Shochi? Na shochiti, na kankshati. Lamentation, yeah. To lament. Now choose some benedictions from me, O saintly king. I will fulfill all your desires. One who has satisfied me need never again lament. Purport. The Acharyas explain that we lament when we feel incomplete, when we have lost something, or when we fail to achieve something desirable. One who has satisfied Krishna and thus attains the Lord's mercy will never be troubled in these ways. Lord Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure, and he enjoys sharing his spiritual bliss with all living beings. We need only cooperate with the Supreme Lord. Varam vrinishvarajarshe sarankamam dadamite mam prasanno janakaschin nabhuyo arhati shuchitum. Now choose some benedictions from me, O saintly king. I will fulfill all your desires. One who has satisfied me need never again lament. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Miditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Bhakta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sukadevi Pranamami Hari Pre. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam manghayati girimyat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Nirata. Who is speaking here? Who is offering to offer benedictions? Krishna. To whom? The king, Muchukunda. So we heard yesterday the whole story from Hridaya Chaitanya Prabhu. He explained the whole context very nicely. So I will not repeat. We all know the situation. The king woke up and saw the Yavana king who burned to ashes from a fire from within. And then Krishna appeared. The king was very satisfied to see the beautiful Lord. And Krishna said, since you, in the past and previously, you prayed to me, I now personally came to show you mercy because I'm Bhaktavatsala. What means Bhaktavatsala? Vatsala means very affectionate. Yes, very affectionate. I love my devotees. I'm affectionately inclined to my devotees. And now I want to offer you some benediction. I'd like to fulfill all your desires. Dadami, kaman dadami. I will give you whatever you want. And because you satisfied me, once you satisfy me, you will never lament. You'll never again need to lament. So this is one sign that we have satisfied Krishna. Yesterday we spoke a little bit about, at the end also of the class, how Krishna reciprocates because of his affection towards devotees, and this is one way. Krishna becomes satisfied. This is a reciprocation. I'm happy, and because of Krishna's happiness, we also get something, which may not be a tangible thing, but is very important. We don't lament anymore. Anyone of you does not want to lament anymore? Really? It will be very boring life if we don't lament. There must be some lamentation. But yes, devotees also may lament, seemingly, but here it's a lamentation, as the Acharyas explain, when we feel incomplete, when we lost something, like in India we lose, or somebody steals our chappals, our sandals or shoes, and then we may lament. Or for whatever reasons, we may lose something, someone dear. So that's naturally. Or we fail to achieve something desirable. We have a goal and we don't achieve it, and then we're not happy, we lament. But Krishna says here, if I'm pleased with someone, then no such lamentation, because the devotee feels complete, fulfilled, and there's nothing else desirable. Once we have Krishna, there's nothing else to desire. So unless of course we want Krishna's satisfaction through service, so that still we don't become stone, we don't become without desires or without feelings. And devotees lament when they miss Krishna out of separation, so that's kind of lamentation. Oh, when will attain your association again? That's a spiritual lamentation. So this is very typical when Krishna gives darshan, to ask, actually to insist that he gives benediction. Anyone can suggest why Krishna does that? Here's the mic. Yeah, because it wasn't off, or it was on, but it went off. Just this red button at the bottom, and it should work.
You have to put up the sound.
Oh, it's working. Haribo. So, any suggestions? Why is Krishna offering benedictions and actually pushing? Like, for example, any other stories where Krishna says similar thing? I want to give you benediction, and devotees, I'm fine. No. You have to choose some benediction. Prahlad, Dhruva Maharaj. Okay, so why? Why Krishna wants to give benediction and insist the devotee?
Because the person deserves it.
Okay, the person deserves it, and Krishna wants to, reciprocate. You deserve, I have to give you. Okay, any other reasons?
Because he's fully satisfied by the devotional service of the devotee.
Okay, Krishna is happy, and so again wants to fulfill the desire. Any other? Yes, bro.
He likes to make us happy. He doesn't need us, but he likes to make us happy.
Okay, yes, but he can say, I bless you to be happy. He doesn't need to ask us what do we want or to offer. Please choose a boon. Please express your desire. Yes. He specifically wants to make us happy by fulfilling our desire. So that's my question, why he is asking for our desires.
But then it's an opportunity to have an exchange with him.
Yes, very good. I was thinking of that also, that Krishna wants to show that he is not a dead stone, He's a person and he likes exchanges, right? but not transactions, right? Even transactions, we heard about some deities, they like to have deals. But that's not, again, material transaction. You heard about the Rajput Jagannath deities? There are many stories. Devotees go, and there is a book from the Pujaris of Pankajanvi, in Mayapur, about many stories where devotees go and say, my dear Lord, I have this desire, please fulfill it, and I will give you this. If you fulfill my desire, it's like the opposite. Here Krishna says, please ask something. But the devotee says, I will give you something, but first fulfill my desire. Like there was an old lady and she went, and that sounds a little bit like really a transaction. My granddaughter is blind, make her see again, or not again, she was, I think, blind from birth or something. And I'll give you a mirror. That was the exchange he offered, Mirror against blindness. And the daughter saw, for some reason, he just started seeing, so Jagannath got his mirror. And there are many other stories like that. But that's not the standard way, okay, let's make a deal with the Lord. But it's only, very, pure-hearted souls can have transcendental exchanges. But Krishna likes that, and he offers. So any other reasons?
The relationship with Krishna is based on freedom. It's not based, as you say, exchange of business. But Krishna likes it when we love him freely, when the relationships are based on desire.
Okay, so Krishna wants to establish a relationship, but he doesn't want to impose it. He wants to see our desire. Free love. So, okay, I'm here, you see me, and I can give you anything. All karma, all desires I fulfill. He doesn't say spiritual, material, just desire anything. Yes?
I also remember that Krishna says somewhere that he is very eager to bring everyone back home, back to Godhead. So maybe that means that he wants everyone to attain pure devotional service. And so maybe he asks this question because he maybe secretly wants to hear that the person says that they only want pure devotional service unto him.
Okay, but why would he secretly want it? Why don't he openly ask? Do you want pure devotional service and come back to me? He can say.
He's also shy, that's one of his qualities.
Oh, okay. so he's shy to really suggest anything. He says, any desire I can fulfill. I think that's a valid point. And he's specifically asking such devotees like Dhruva and Prahlad and King Muchukunda, who are very advanced devotees, and he knows that they will desire pure devotional service. So he's asking them, and he wants to hear that. He also wants to show example how devotees actually pray. Yes?
Actually, Krishna is asking, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
Some addition. And they say, we want pure devotional service. But they have already pure devotional service. They are already pure devotees. So basically they don't ask anything.
Yes, well, but they still ask. So they don't think, I've attained everything, I've attained pure devotional service.
They are satisfied, no? But they feel unqualified.
Yes,
they feel that they don't have pure devotional service, and they ask for that, but they are already pure devotional service. How can they see Krishna?
Yes, sure, yeah. So, but they feel unqualified and they ask, yeah.
Also, it could be like showing us the principle of dadati. He gives a lot, and what he can give the best, and the best things that he can offer to pure devotees is benedictions or something, I think. Probably.
Yes, yeah. That's again related to that he's a person and he reciprocates.
Yeah.
He's very responsive, as Prabhupada says in Krishna book. He's very responsive, and here he says, you prayed for me intensely in the past, and here I am. And you wanted me, but I can fulfill any desire. And then devotees like Muchukunda say, well, I want you. And Krishna says, all right. But if you want something else, he's ready. He doesn't want to push himself. So but again, yeah, the dati, it's a very important that Krishna acts like a Suhrida, very close friend, and then friends exchange. That's a symptom of love, of exchange. You give something, and the friend gives also something. So therefore, devotees, they don't ask for material things in general, and they just ask for service, or they just ask for bhakti, as we'll see now more examples. But they don't treat Krishna like a stone. That okay, I'm just giving, and then we don't expect for ourselves, but in the exchanges of love there is reciprocation. So when Krishna offers, devotees is happy also that he expresses his desire. Otherwise, no, I'm dead. You're a stone and I'm a stone. I just want to serve. But no, that's a loving exchange. So devotees are happy. Yes.
I was thinking, if Krishna is asking this question, isn't it because it will test into brackets the real humility?
Well, I don't know if it's the humility, but it's definitely a test. And here we'll see from the few examples in Bhagavatam, that's what devotees say. Oh my Lord, why don't tempt me. And then Krishna says in some of the cases, I wanted to test you. Therefore I said, I can fulfill any desire. But devotees, please don't tempt me, especially Prahlad Maharaj, when Nrsimhadev. He says very similar thing actually, almost identical, but in two verses. He says, I'm here, I'm ready to fulfill all your desires. Actually, it's my pastime to fulfill desires, especially of devotees. And if I'm satisfied, you'll never feel lamentation. You'll never lament again. That's exactly what Nrsimhadev says. And Prahlad Maharaj says, my Lord, please, I'm born not a devotee family. I'm born as an asura. I am naturally inclined to material desires, I naturally have material desires. Why do you tempt me and offer me kama dadami? I'll fulfill your kama. Don't tempt me. And then he wanted something else, but before he wanted something, he said, actually, I don't want to be a vanik. I don't want to be a merchant. I don't want transactions. So I give, you give. I give, you give. No, he says, we have this relationship. I am a servant, you are a master. I serve unconditionally. But then he asks still for something, and we'll see what. But yeah, to the point that Krishna is a person and he likes exchanges, and he is doing it to test, to show an example, and to so many things, so different. It's just so nice to have these loving exchanges, and then Krishna tests the devotee. Sometimes a pure devotee can test also Krishna. If you have heard the story of Abhiram Thakur, you know who is Abhiram Thakur? Sri Ram Das Abhiram is one of the very close associates of Nityananda Prabhu. So the story is that he was previously in Krishna's pastime. His eternal identity is Sridham. So when Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, all the other devotees came, gopis and gopas, somehow Sridham, they were playing hide and seek, and he missed that there was a new play, a new game. And then where's everyone? Well, they went to Bhumandala, and then they have a new game, new pastime, that's Sankirtan. And then he appeared. Anyway, it's a long story in his biography, but he had his unusual way of preaching. Anyone knows how he preached? He had a special stuff. Or sometimes they say whip, but anyway, anyone who touched, and then he got prema. So he was very uncommon ways. And one of the things he did was he offered dandavats. And he was testing everyone by his dandavats, especially fake devotees, because obviously there were always some fake spiritualists. And also there were fake deities, fake shalagrams. Even nowadays they sell, there's just black stones, they are shiny, but they're not really shalagrams. So fake shalagram, fake deities, fake devotees. So when he offered obeisances, the fake shalagram, they cracked. The deity cracked, or the hearts cracked. So fake cracked. Yeah. So once he visited Srikanta, that's near Katwa, where Lord Chaitanya took sannyas. There's devotees there, a whole group of very close devotees, intimate devotees. From there come Narahari Sarkar, Mukunda Das. So the son of Mukunda Das, a famous Raghunandana, he is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the story of Shishirana Gopinath, that Lord Chaitanya asked Mukunda Das, so who is the son, who is the father? We know that, and it's related to a story where Mukunda Das left his son, who was still a small boy, to offer to the deity. That the family deity was called Gopinath, very small Gopinath, and he said, make sure he eats, okay? So Raghunandan offered the food, and then he came back after some time, and then he saw the food is there. He said, Gopinath, what have you done? You haven't eaten. And please eat. And then food is still there. And then Raghunandan started crying, please, my father said I have to make sure you have to eat. If he comes back, he will be very upset. You have to eat. So Gopinath said, no, I can't. Well, he responded anyway, said, okay, I will eat it, but don't tell anyone. Okay? So he ate everything. And then when Mukunda Das was the family physician, as described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he was a physician of actually the Muslim governor. And he saw how they fanned with a peacock feather. And then he just remembered Krishna in ecstatic love, and then fell down. And then everyone is, what happened? He's sick, the doctor is sick. But the governor was intelligent enough to understand that this is a symptom of love. So anyway, he came back and he saw his son very happy, and then, okay, is there any maha from your offering? No, he ate everything. And Mukunda, oh, my son? Is he lying? He cannot lie. And anyway, he was thinking, and he came out with a plan. I will again ask him to offer, but I will come back and hide and see. And that's what happened. He again asked him, you offer, I'll go to another visit. But he came back, and through another door he was planning to see. So Gopinath again started eating. And then he saw that Mukunda Dasa was watching, and then he's, okay, that's it. So he's still, this deity is standing with his hand like that. It's very nice, a very special deity. We had a difficulty to find it because it's just in one house there, the descendants of Mukunda Das. So we were looking everywhere, and finally we found this house. And then Pujari came. It was in the afternoon, and we were like, oh, but he was so small, we were trying to see. And we said, can we make a picture? Because sometimes they don't want their disturbed. And he said, whoa, and then he took the deity from the altar. He brought the deity just in front of us. It was so sweet. So, this is Gopinath. And so, Abhiram Thakur, we're back, who liked to test real devotees. So he was coming to see the devotees there, and then Mukunda Dasa was kind of apprehensive a little bit and told Raghunandan, go and play in the neighbor's house. So Abhiram came and he saw Mukunda Dasa, and they were very happy and they were friends. And then, I wanted to see your son. I heard he's a great devotee. And then because he's playing somewhere, you know. So okay. And then he left, and Raghunandan came. Where is Abhiram Thakur? Well, he heard that Abhiram visited. Oh, I missed to see, and so he ran, and he went and caught him, and then he offered obeisances, and Abhiram Thakur also offered obeisances. Everyone was, but nothing happened. Of course, Raghunandan was great God. So he embraced him. They started dancing like mad out of love, and then the nupura of Raghunandan flew. And in some, nupura means the bell, ankle bells, like big ankle bells. And then it fell in one place, and there one huge tree, it became a lake. After that, and under this tree, later Lord Chandas Thakur wrote Chaitanya Mangala. So Abhiram Thakur once went to Madan Mohan deity and offered obeisances. So what the deity did? The deity started perspiring. And then when Abhiram Thakur went close, and the deity said, "Why did you do that? Why did you test me? You know, why did I was very afraid, you know?" And then he said, "My dear Lord, I just wanted to prove that you're not a stone, that you actually reciprocate, because people come and they may pray or something, but actually in real life you're Krishna himself. So therefore I wanted to prove to everyone. So it's seemingly I tested you, but okay. So we're back to devotees, how they respond. Now we'll see. Before Muchukunda responds, he is actually praising the Lord with 12 verses and describing his situation. He doesn't say, "Okay, I want this and this." He says, he explains why he doesn't want anything else than what he will ask. We will see later, but he explained that I'm a king, you know, I'm accustomed to enjoyment. So if you offer me, you know, benedictions to fulfill my desires, I don't want, because what will be the result of that? And then he gives different examples and says, you may attain the highest position and then even be, you know, worshipped as the greatest, you know, the king who conquered everyone, and everybody will come and bow down to you and offer praises and everything else. But then when you go in the chambers, the private chambers of the queens, then you become what was it? Mriga Krida, you become a toy in the hands of the queens. So I don't want these benedictions, I don't want to be a fool. So he asks, please protect me so that I don't become overcome by your illusory potency, and please give me pada seva, your service to the lotus feet, and please give me unfailing bhakti. So this is very typical. Devotees ask for unflinching faith and bhakti. They want protection and they want service. So let's again remember these devotees who are asked by the Lord for specific benedictions. What do they pray? What Dhruva prayed? Anyone remember? Dhruva, yeah.
Oh, I was asking for pieces of broken glass, and now realize.
I got a diamond, okay. So I was a big fool, so I asked for just a pieces of broken glass. But then he asks for something. He said, well, I asked for the wrong thing. But then he asked, do you remember what?
I just want to remember your devotion, sir.
Yeah. But specifically?
Did you want to have Lord's darshan?
No, he just wants to, he wants to please the Lord. I want what I want, you want me ask. You ask me, I want to please you through bhakti. I want to offer you devotional service. And please give me that bhakti. He says, you want to give me something? He says, bhakti muhu pravahanam. I again and again ask you, tvai me prasango. Give me your devotional service. So he asked for devotion and service. What about other stories where Krishna appeared and insisted to give. We said Prahlad. Anyone remembers what Prahlad wanted? Okay, this is something that he said at the end. Yeah, please, can you save my father? And Nrsimhadev said, well, yeah, Nrsimhadev, I will give you my benediction. I fulfill all desires. This is my pastimes. Please request something. And then Prahlad said, don't test me. Don't ask me to fulfill my desires. I want something specific. So he asked for that. And then he says, please take care of my father, save him. And then Nrsimha says, don't worry, he's already saved, and many generations before and after. Okay, but not there. This is from 5th canto. We had 7th canto where they are face to face. In the 5th canto, this is the second prayer. And the first prayer is something very similar to what he asked directly in Nrsimhadev. You know that prayer? So you refer to the prayer which says, Swastyastu Vishvasya Kalah Prasidatam, let there be good fortune for all people, and all the envious people, their hearts are peaceful. So that, he prays for that, but before he says, Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. You remember that prayer? Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. And then, what is it? Namaste, Jase Aviravir Bhava. So you are the strength of all strong, and Namaste, Jase Aviravir Bhava, please manifest, reveal yourself. Vajranaka Vajradamshtra, you who has nails and teeth like thunderbolts. Karmashayan, Randaya Randaya. He says, oh my deep-rooted material desires, Randaya, please destroy them. Karmasha Randa Randa Tamo Grasa Grasa, all my ignorance, please remove it. Tamo Grasa Grasa, Om Swaha Bhayam Abhayam Atmani Bhushta, Om Shravana, all the fear from material existence. So Prahlad says in the 7th canto something similar, destroy my deeply rooted material desires. He's, Kamanam Hridi Asammoham Bhavatastu Vrinevaram. This is the only one benediction. I want Kamanam Hridi Asamroham. This very deeply in my heart, these kamas, please remove them. Okay, this is Prahlad. And then he asks something for his father. And what other examples are there? Yeah. Anybody? From Bhagavatam. Oh, yeah, Bhagavatam. We are still in Bhagavatam. At the end I will ask also for contemporary acharyas.
Devaki.
Okay. Yeah, there's so many prayers in Bhagavatam. Kunti Devi, what she wanted? Many things, but one of the things, troubles. Why? Well, actually she didn't want trouble because that sounds like what? She wanted to see Krishna again and again. She wanted association, and because when we were in the calamities, you were with us, let them again happen, so you will be with us. Yes?
Yeah, this is another type of prayer, but Uttara is in the Bhagavata. She prayed, I don't need you, but please protect my enemy.
Okay, so again, this is an example of protection. In a time of difficulties, devotees pray. Yeah, also Draupadi, she prayed to Govinda to save her, like that. Any other examples? Specifically when there is a darshan, Lord appears and says, I want to give you benediction. And then the devotee responds. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Bali Maharaj.
Bali
Bali
Maharaj.
Maharaj said, what do you want? He said, I want that you always stay with me. And he became the god
Yeah.
of, he went to hell actually to keep, because he was living in hell, Bali, and then he became the gatekeeper. So he stayed with him all the time.
Yeah.
So he wanted to have
That's a very good
association.
example. Yes, Bali Maharaj.
I need help, but Nala Kukura and Manihika, what did they pray for? But they have that.
Okay. Okay, this is homework. We have to check what did they pray for, if they prayed. But, hmm? Yeah, yeah. Krishna asked them. Where, okay, remember some cases when Krishna or Vishnu appeared? Gajendra? Okay, he prayed and then he appeared. Did Gajendra ask for more after that? I don't remember. Okay. So, yeah, again, Gajendra prayed for protection and Krishna came to save him. This is very, very common also, the Brijavasis. When a demon comes, they say, "Oh, Krishna, Krishna, Mahabaho, please save us."
No, there was praying also to, I mean, like when he left, after his mother died, so he left and Krishna appeared to him, and then he disappeared.
Who's that? Oh, Narada, yeah, but that was only internally.
Okay.
And then he says, "Unfortunately, you will not see me again." And then, in this lifetime, then Narada felt pangs of separation. I don't think there was a specific prayer by Narada at that time, but we can check first canto. What about Prithu? Lord Vishnu appeared when he did 99 sacrifices, and then on the 100th, what happened? Indra, how? Through trickery. And then at the end, Lord Vishnu came with Indra and kind of, okay, please forgive him. And then he gave a lot of instructions to Prithu Maharaj, like what he should do. And then says, okay, now I want to give you vara, I want to give you a benediction. And what did Prithu do? I'll say, if you remember the details. He didn't say anything. He just worshipped the Lord, and he forgave Indra, and they just did the worship, and that's it. It completed the yagya, and then the Lord was about to leave, just to go to Garuda, but Prithu was so overwhelmed with loving emotion, and Lord Vishnu didn't want to leave. He also was very touched, so he was standing and almost touching with his feet, as the Bhagavatam describes, and Prithu Maharaj was also just standing and sitting and was in the heart. He was embracing the Lord and just looking at him. And at one point thought, that's not enough. I have to say something. I have to ask something. And then he asks. And this is a very famous request. And this is one thing which other examples I will give of devotees, they ask very often, which is actually basis of all the other benedictions for pure devotional service and like that. So he says, well, I don't want anything material. Again, they begin like that. The devotees usually, please don't take me. I don't want material. I don't want even kaivalya, to merge in you, become, liberated. So what I want, he says, Mahatamantar Hridayan Mukkachuto Vidvatsa Karnayutam Eshame Vara. The benediction, Vara, I want is that I am always in the association of your great devotees who, but when they speak, I want to hear what they speak, but I don't want only 2 years, that's not enough. How many years you want? That's why I'm saying it's a famous prayer.
1,000 of years.
1,000 only? No, come on. That's not enough. More, other numbers.
Millions.
How?
Millions.
That's in French. It's a million in English. Yeah, 1 million. 1 million, that's the word here. He says, ayuta. Ayuta means 1 million. So karna yutam, 1 million years, he says. 1 million years so that I can hear, you know, your glories, the description of your pastimes through the mouths of your pure devotees. And so what is exactly what comes from their mouths? He says in the next verse, a very beautiful explanation. When they speak about saffron pollen of the dust of your lotus feet. Yes. The nectar, he says, I want the nectar from the mouth of the pure devotees, which is the nectar of the saffron dust from your lotus feet. So when that comes and enters my ear, that's it. I don't want anything else. That completely, satisfy me. And also he asked for something else. Association of devotees, to hear the nectar of their mouths. And he specifically asked for service, for seva. But what kind of service? He says a service just like the goddess of fortune renders to you. Okay? So he wants personal service. And then, you remember what he said? That's very funny. I mean, the way I find it funny a little bit, because he says, well, I'm a little bit afraid because of this desire. Why?
Because Lakshmi and he will have
Quarrel. We'll have a fight. She might say, well, I'm doing this service. You want to take it from me? No, this is my service. So he said, she might quarrel with me because of that. But he says, but you will not be, you will be okay with this. You'll still grant me the service. So it's very, very nice prayer. Then he says, you're so kind that you will give me this benediction, that I can give you this personal service. What else? Yeah?
Did Lord Brahma? Lord Brahma was praying for empowerment for his difficult service, the creation of the universe. Did he? Was it that one? He was.
Yeah. And also to not be overcome by illusion, to forget, to not become proud.
Yeah.
Because in that position, that's why we are here. We want to be the center, the controller, the enjoyer. And if you're the creator, everyone is under you. It's so easy that you're, yes, that's me, you know. Everybody comes for problems to you. All the big demigods, the big controllers, so you can feel the biggest. So he said, please, you know, protect me from being proud and let me do my service. Yeah, very good example, Brahma. Sudama Brahmana, I had that in mind, and another Sudama. Who was another Sudama? Before, actually, Sudama Vipra went to Dwarka. Before that, there was another Sudama. So, okay, anyway, say about Sudama Vipra, what he wanted.
Nothing.
Nothing?
He wanted to see Krishna. Basically wanted to see Krishna. His wife wanted that he will ask for riches. And, he didn't ask anything for that.
Directly. He didn't say, my Krishna, I want this. But it's mentioned that he prayed. He prayed. When he went to Krishna, he prayed. And he said something about Sauhridam, Dasyam and Sakyam. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that Sauhridam here signifies affection toward Krishna, very intimate affection. Oh, they were already friends, but he still asks, Sakyam means affinity manifest in desire to live in the company, because they're kind of synonyms. Sauhridam is very close friend, and Sakya means again friend. But friend who wants to live together, again to exchange. And Maitri, the attitude for intimate comradeship. And Dasyam, the urge to do service. So these things Sudama had in mind when he prayed. So, but I had wanted to hear about the Sudama, the garland maker in Mathura, because he specifically answered Krishna's request. Krishna and Balaram said, okay, what do you want? Because they were very satisfied. What happened? They went to his place and they didn't even ask, can you give us garlands? They just went and he immediately invited them and washed their feet and put sandalwood and praised them. And he understood, oh, they want garlands. So he took the best fresh forest flower garlands and they were very happy. Said, okay, we'll bless you. What do you want? And what he said? He chose the verses, one Anushtup verse, very simple. He chose this, and this, a few things. Very important. Very exemplary prayer. You want to hear?
Yes.
Sopi Vavri Achalam Bhaktim. So he chose Vavri. Achala Bhakti means unshakable devotion. Unshakable, Achala. So this is the first thing. I want to unshakable devotion from you. Tasmin evakil atmani, you, the Supreme Lord. Tad bhakteshu cha sauhardam. I want friendship with your devotees. Isn't it nice? He wants a benediction from the Lord to become friends with devotees. What does it mean? But that's another topic. How can you ask someone to give you a benediction to develop a relationship with someone else? It's a personal thing, right? But
asking for purity of the heart.
Yeah, and you know, facilities, situations. If you're put in a situation with association of devotees and you desire that, you develop friendship. Krishna can facilitate that, can help you, and then with your desire and your actions, then you can develop friendship. Yeah.
Maybe he says that because Krishna says that only the devotees of his devotees are his real devotees. So.
Yeah, okay. So he asked for friendship, for unshakable devotion, and then bhuteshu cha dayam param. And I want to have compassion for every living entity. Okay? So devotion, love for you, friendship with your devotees, and compassion for everyone. Daya, mercy, compassion. Isn't it? Nice prayer. 3 things. Will you remember this? After the class, you can remember 3 things. Okay. Parikshit? I don't remember now exactly.
Yes,
in the first canto or? Okay. Or which canto? Which canto?
First canto towards the end.
Okay. Okay, another homework to find out the exact prayer of Parikshit. And what else? Okay, some other examples of devotees, more recent from the acharyas. Yeah. The mic.
In Chaitanya Lila, there is a famous poor man who was selling banana. I don't know whether he was selling bananas or leaf cups from the leaves of...
Kolavecha Shidar.
Yes, Kolavecha Shidar. And when he was asked, yes, in the Mahaprakash Lila, was it?
Yes.
He asked, I only want you to come and steal my bananas, life after life. So he wanted these direct exchanges. Lila.
Very nice. Because in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes we don't have this so much. Only in few occasions Lord Chaitanya manifested his mood as the Supreme and asked devotees, okay, I will give you benedictions, I'll fulfill all your desires. So one after another, he was asking the devotees and they requested something from the Lord. So, and why Kolavecha wanted the Lord to come and steal? He wasn't stealing, but he was actually very pushing. And basically, he was playing the role of a brahmana and Kolavecha Shidar just as a simple merchant. So Nimai was going and was saying, okay, how much is this? And then Kolovecha was saying some good, give me the best price. So he gave the best price. No, I wanted less. And then it was, no, but how can I live? I have to live from something. He was so poor. He had this hut which was even not properly, the roof was not proper, so it was raining inside with his wife. So poor. And then they were so much ecstatic with his wife. They were, singing the glories of the Lord and crying. And the neighbors were hearing their cries and thought, they are probably so poor and hungry, so they cry from hunger. But Lord Chaitanya went once and took his iron cup and drank the water from him, because he was such a great devotee. So Nimai was pushing, no, give me the... And then a day he says, anyway, I'm a Brahman, I deserve, a donation, so thank you very much. He just took it. So this gave such a pleasure to Kolovecha. But he was protesting, of course, outwardly, and then he said, I just want again and again this Brahmana to come and tease me like that. So a very nice example. Any other prayers?
I was thinking about Uddhava was asking for becoming a grass.
Who? Sorry?
Uddhava. Asking to become a grass that the devotees...
Okay. Yeah, this is just a general prayer, not in front of Krishna, but he was praying in Vrindavan. What was that? What he wanted to become? Lata Aushadhi. Lata Aushadhi, a herb or a grass or a creeper, so that he can get the dust. So.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur was asking to become insect in the house of a devotee. They can...
Okay. Yeah, Manasa Deho Joki Chumo. I don't want to become even a Brahma who is not a devotee, but I prefer to be an insect in the house of a devotee. It's not that he prays to become an insect, but he says, I will be very happy to become an insect. But he said, in another place, he says, I want to become a dog. But what kind of dog? Vaishnava Kukura, in Bengali, Kukura is a dog. Vaishnava Kukura, a dog of a Vaishnava. Why? What is the quality of a dog?
The remnants?
Huh?
Eat the remnants or protect it?
He's loyal.
Very loyal, very faithful, can give up life. So he said, I just want to be outside and guard the house of a devotee and get some remnants for my... So.
Was it also when they were in Kirtan, Pashatasta and Srivas someone died? And then he said, you didn't lament during the Kirtan, you just kept on dancing. And I don't remember if Chaitanya asked if to give benediction, but he was very pleased with him. I remember that.
I don't remember also if Lord Chaitanya specifically asked Srivas for benediction, but yeah, he said, why nobody told me, and then he went to the boy and touched him, the boy came back, and like that.
He asked that he could leave his body before Lord Chaitanya.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a personal request. Lord Chaitanya said, so I see you are sick. What is your disease? And Haridas Thakur, my disease is I cannot finish my rounds. You don't need to finish your rounds. No. My mind is disturbed. And okay, but what can I do for you? I have one request. I know that you are leaving soon. You're finishing your pastimes. I don't want to see that. Can you fulfill my desire? I don't want to see you. I don't want to stay after you have left, because I will not be able to tolerate. Mahaprabhu, he was like, what kind of request is this? Sometimes that's with Lord Chaitanya playing the role of a devotee, like with Shivas, Shivananda, and I think his eldest son, he named him Chaitanya Das. So Lord Chaitanya wanted I want to see your son. What's his name? Chaitanya Das. And Lord Chaitanya, what kind of name is this? And he said, my dear Lord, he took the name which just came to my heart, I just follow my heart. Sometimes devotees say like that. Also Mukunda Datta. Lord Chaitanya said, why you offer obeisances first to me and then to Nityananda? Nityananda is my elder brother. Etiquette means first you offer to him obeisance. And I just follow my heart. But the next day he offered first to Nityananda. So, okay, more. We have 1-2 minutes more. Any more examples? Some from the Goswamis? They have so many prayers. One example from Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, when you remember that when you mentioned there was this leper, Vasudeva, you remember? So he got cured and Lord Chaitanya was leaving and he asked,
all the saints of the whole living entities to come to this.
Okay, and also, but the first thing, the immediate reaction with Lord Chaitanya, because he became very beautiful, and so he said, I just don't want to become proud of my learning and beauty and aristocratic birth, whatever. And what was the answer? Lord Chaitanya said something. Chant always the name of Krishna. In this way, you will never be proud. So that's the formula.
But he said you have to be humble to be able to do that.
You're finding contradictions? No, you chant, and then it's humbleness will come. Of course, we have to endeavor to develop the proper mood also, especially to be attentive, and then purification and everything else will come. So, 2 examples, Rupa and Raghunath. Rupa Goswami says, Kritagaskipya yogipi janasmin kumatavapi. I'm always performing agaska, means offenses, horrible things. Kumatavapi, my intelligence is very crooked, and what I want, so Kritagaskipya yogipi janasmin kumatavapi. I want lavam apupadhanaya. Dasya dana pradhanasya. I want some gift from you. What is it? Dasya dana. Please give me your service, but not just service. I want a little bit of a particle of your service. Just a small service. And he says after that, it's actually a prayer to Srimati Radharani. And he says, because your heart is melted, Kripa Dyota Dravachita, from the rays of the warmth of your mercy, of your Kripa, your heart is always melted. Like Navanitasi Yatsada, like a fresh butter. So you have to be kind. You have to give me the service, because you're so, by nature, so merciful. And Raghunath Das Goswami, in a very famous verse, also in Vilapa Kusumanjali, he says, Padabjayostava varadasya neva nanyat kadapi samaye kiladevi yache. Yache means I will beg you for nothing else besides the best of service for you. I want to perform the best service, and this is the only thing I will ever ask you. And he says, to your friendship, Sakyayate mama namostu nityam. I always offer my respects. But dasyayate mama rasostu satyam. The real rasa, the real taste, the nectar is your service. Okay, so any other additions, comments? Yes?
It's a question.
Okay.
Yes, when you mentioned, I was wondering if Akama Sarvakama is the verse for non-devotees. And I'm wondering, because you mentioned devotees don't ask, and here the Bhagavatam gives, leverage for asking. And
I never said devotees don't ask. I didn't say devotees don't ask. They don't ask material things. That's what I said, usually.
Yeah. So I was wondering what kind of devotees, only pure devotees, because the cowherd boys, they asked for protection. So protection is not considered to be a material thing. Why? Because they use their body to serve. Is that the answer then?
Yeah, this is explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu in the commentaries of the verse Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam. So it means Anyabhilashita Shunyam, that all desires are shunya. Anything else than pure devotion, they're of void. They don't have any such desires. Karma, jnana, kana, anavartam, and everything else. Only favorable to serve. That's Uttama Bhakti. And then Vishwanath Chakravarti, the Acharyas explain, well, sometimes devotees in danger, they ask for protection. And this is not considered contrary to devotional service.
The suffix it is that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But akama sarva kamava, yes, it's a general principle, and Prabhupada also explained it. Devotees don't ask generally, these are the examples of the pure devotees. But even if you have material desire, still you don't go to someone else. But you admit, my Lord, I still have this desire, I submit it to you, you take care. And I know that you know what is best for me, so you fulfill it in whatever way you want. And Krishna thinks, if devotee admits it, then it's very nice. Krishna will take care. Whatever he does, we don't know, because it's very individual. Krishna will do what is best for the devotee ultimately. But if a devotee doesn't say, well, it's a material desire, but he's really fixed, then that's what he wants, just material desire. Okay, you're here, and please, I'm doing something, I throw a coin at your lotus feet, please, fulfill my desire, material desire. And what Krishna says then, Lord Chaitanya explains that in Chaitanya Charitamrita. You are a fool. You're a fool, but I'm not a fool. I'm the most intelligent. So I'll make such arrangements that you will never ask for such a thing again. So anyway, we are vast. That's what Bhagavatam says. Even if you're full of desires, please worship with great determination. And Bhakti Yogena, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Seva. Just with great strength, do Bhakti Yoga. Even if you're full of desires. That for all devotees, mixed devotees, pure devotees, whatever.
So would that correspond to Namaparad, and Namaparad yielding the fulfillment of material desires? I'm just wondering.
That Krishna is arranging it such a way? Yeah, because for a devotee, fulfillment of material desires is a disaster. Yeah, and usually it ends up in disaster. If you have a really sincere desire to please the Lord, if you're just interested in having a comfortable life now and in the next life, that also can come. Krishna is a desire tree. If that's the only thing you want, but if you really want him, but also some other things, and then he'll take care. But if it's nama parada, which is intentional and conscious, and then it's not good. Krishna will not manifest. He will not give himself. He may fulfill, especially material things, liberation even he can give. Not with aparada, with nama bhas, he will give liberation. Yes.
We go back to Muchikunda.
Yeah.
The last time he had a desire, the demigods asked him for because he was fighting for them.
Yeah.
And they were offering him a benediction. But they were saying, we cannot give you liberation because we don't have that.
Yeah.
So that time he asked to sleep.
Yeah.
And was he asking for that the fact that if somebody would wake him up and burn him, was he asking, or was that a part of the benediction?
Yeah, he asked.
He asked for that.
Yeah, but again, here Krishna says, in the past you asked for me, therefore I come. So that was his prayer, his service, obviously. But because he did his duty for demigods, he was just very exhausted, like yesterday, Hrida Chaitanya Prabhu says, sometimes you're so finished, somebody is coming, just, I want to rest, Your mind is shut down, your body, you just want, so he said, can I just sleep? I want to take rest, a long rest. Anyone wakes me, that's it. But that was not like a prayer, or he just wanted. At the moment, it was a momentary request, and Krishna is okay. Let him take rest. I will fulfill his desires.
Was it Krishna who was giving it, or
No,
the
demigods? The demigods, but Krishna arranged it. He knew the whole thing, and he patiently waited. So sometimes we may also want some. I want a break, Okay, no problem. But once you requested me for pure devotional service, and you rendered devotional service with purity, I will never forget. So Krishna will remind us, even if we still want other things. But the best is if we try to always desire the examples of the great devotees and the acharyas desire, and then even our other mixture come, and in between we have to acknowledge them, not suppress, but at least acknowledge and submit them in the Lord's lotus feet. And say, you take care. I cannot. And that's another prayer. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the song Gopinath, in the third part, he says, my dear Lord Gopinath, I tried everything. And I failed. A complete failure. So only you, I have hope now, only you. And then you are Hrishika Tomara. You're the Lord of the senses. Please take charge of my mind and senses, because that's where the desires originate. So he said, I can't control them, you take care. So this is another nice prayer. We submit, and then Krishna will take care. Rest assured. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam.